matchup has Rolling Hills Prep with a nice 18-5 record against the Monarchs of Mater Dei. 22-3, a powerhouse out of the Trinity League, playing in their home arena. There are the Monarchs. Just had a nice light show. All the players came out, celebrated by their crowd, their adoring fan base. Paul, this is a step up in class really for Rolling Hills Prep, but Harvey Catani's teams play well. They're a lower division team going up against the powerful Monarch squad, but you got to give them a chance in this one.
Well, yeah, I think what Harvey's doing here is he knows his team has a chance for their third straight CIF championship because they've won at Division 5, Division 4, now they're in Division 3. They need games against tough opponents like this.
There's our starting lineups presented by Carl's Jr.
For the Rolling Hills Prep Huskies, Benny Geeler, an exciting freshman, Troy Murphy Jr., Chris Kuhn, their best player, Vaughn Flowers and JT Tan round out the starting lineup for Harvey Catani. For the Monarchs, a little bit different lineup than we've seen in the past. Evan Askew and Ryan Evans is back from the flu. Will Breedenbach, the outstanding young forward, Nick Davison, who's playing better and better every time I see him, and a rare starter tonight, Raul Torres is going to start at one of the guard positions for Mater Dei. He is a 6'1" senior.
Anxious to see Ryan Evans. You mentioned he had the flu when we did the St. John Bosco game. He was out. He averages 13 a game. He's hit as many as 5 threes in a game against Santa Margarita. He can flat out shoot it. Ryan Evans, see Rolling Hills. Big guy in the middle is a good one too. JT Tan, 6'8" junior, all CIF first team. Tan jumping with Breedenbach. Monarchs in red, the dark uniforms belong to the Huskies. This is Davidson, and Askew is the quarterback. Breedenbach from the corner. Kuhn battling nicely for the Huskies with Davidson.
Kuhn's a nice player. He's the two-time CIF Player of the Year in Division 1 and Division 5 AA, and then last year in Division 4A. He's getting some D2 interest. He's got the point forward, so he'll run the show for Harvey Catani.
Torres to Askew. Devin Askew so smooth at the point. The step back 3 ball. And the rebound for Vaughn Flowers.
I like Flowers, much improved on the offensive end, always been athletic. A little better ball skills this year. I think he's a real player for the future for Rolling Hills.
Tempo will be a lot different. Rolling Hills will work the clock a little bit more. Ball was put up by Benny Geeler, and he drew the foul.
Yeah, Rolling Hills like to keep the game in the upper 50s, maybe lower 60s at best. Mater Dei, of course, they want to get out and run every opportunity. They'd like to see this game in the low 70s, maybe high 70s, low 80s.
Geeler, you mentioned he's an impressive freshman. He had 17 and a victory over Carson. Just a great future. According to Harvey Catani, will play college basketball down the road. He averages 10 a night.
Yeah, he doesn't look like a freshman to me. Fearless scorer. Kind of guy who would give you 20, 25 on any given night, and as you mentioned, a freshman.
Glad to have him back is Harvey Catani. He's had the flu as well, much like Ryan Evans of Mater Dei. Askew going to work. Flowers with another board. Murphy's shot up over the iron, no good. And we had goaltending.
I was surprised to see the Huskies push the basketball. Generally, they're not going to play racehorse up and down kind of style, but I guess if the opportunity presents itself, you got to take it.
Evans thought about the 3. Shot out of the corner by Breedenbach fails. By the way, that was an offensive interference call, the offensive goaltending, so it is 2-0. And you can see how deliberate the Huskies are. They want the clock to be their friend, their ally.
Even Tan handles the ball pretty well for a big guy, so they can spread the floor.
Kuhn with the drive in the basket. Chris Kuhn. He's a very nice player. High basketball IQ, averages 11 a night.
Third year on the varsity as a starter, and he just lets the game come to him.
Nice pin down inside, but Davidson can't finish. And Rolling Hills Prep with a nice beginning to this one. Kuhn will back it up. And again, they'll work the clock.
I would expect that they would prefer to have that thing inside of 15, maybe inside of 10 before they start their offensive flow to the basket.
Flowers a blow by. He's right to the basket. Went right around Askew. And it's a shutout here. They're going to roll it to 8-0. Now the goaltending apparently was called on the defense. And there's a shot that's up and in.
Nick Davidson is just improving from game to game. The transfer from Santa Margarita. He's got a nice rhythm to his offensive game when he gets into the paint.
It is 8-2. 10 out in front, lost it. And a 2 run over, taken by Ryan Evans. Askew with the spin move and a nice dish. What a block. And here comes Rolling Hills Prep.
Such a well-disciplined team. Sorry, Randy. You could see that they had a chance to take an opportunity break, but it wasn't really good numbers. So they pull it out, run some clock. This is, of course, like all Harvey Catani's teams going way back. They're so well coached, so smart.
In his third year at Rolling Hills Prep. They won 2 CIF championships. Kuhn with the offensive foul. Timeout on the floor. Over 4 minutes to play in the first quarter. Chris Kuhn and company have an 8-2 lead over host Mater Dei at the Nike Extravaganza. Rolling Hills Prep, the Huskies from San Pedro, California, 4-0, by the way, in the Coastal League, Southern Section Division 3 AA, and they're playing the Mighty Monarchs, and so far so good.
Gabe Krukop, number 14, into the game for Torres. Monarchs getting their normal starting lineup back in there.
Jump shot is up and beautiful. There's the shooter, Ryan Evans, just a junior.
I'm sure that was a point of emphasis in the Mater Dei huddle. A rare situation where Askew kind of forced his own shot the first couple of possessions, and then Greenbach launched a couple of threes from the deep corner. And my guess is Coach Gary McKnight said, you know, let me introduce you to number 12. He happens to be our best shooter.
It was pretty good, and they missed it when they lost to St. John Bosco, no question about it. He can stretch defenses. Kuhn, who likes to drive to the basket, draws another foul. Boy, he can isolate and go one-on-one. Chris Kuhn.
He's comfortable with either hand, and so once he gets you on your hip, he's going to get all the way to the rim and creative attempt at a finish there, gets him a 2-shot opportunity. He is a really good player, in my estimation. I think he might be a lower Division I player, not just a Division II guy.
Yeah, Harvey Catani says he's their glue guy, but he can certainly score. You look at one of our legendary coaches, Gary McKnight, who knocking them both in.
1,129 victories for McKnight.
That qualifies for legendary.
I think so. That's good by me.
And a whole lot of titles as Askew is bumped. But the pace of this quarter is perfect for Rolling Hills. They've controlled the tempo.
No question about that, Randy, and that's just the way Harvey likes it. He knows he doesn't have the athletes to necessarily run up and down for 32 minutes. And so far, so good for Rolling Hills. They've done a nice job on the defensive glass. They haven't allowed Mater Dei offensive rebound putback opportunities. And if they continue to do that all night, if the Monarchs don't shoot well and they can't even inbound the ball, we got a timeout.
Yeah. Askew was forced to call a timeout. Gives us an opportunity to get to your keys, and I only have a few of those for both sides.
Well, for Mater Dei, normally everything is askew would be a bad thing, but it's not for Mater Dei this year because Devin Askew is by far the leader of this team. He makes it all go. Then you got Ryan's Hope. No, that's not the old soap opera.
I love that.
It's the fact that Ryan Evans is back in the lineup, and the hope is he's going to knock down threes with the regularity that he's done all season. And then down the stretch, no, it's not a horse race. Mater Dei had leads in both the Bosco game and the Camarillo game, and in the last 4 minutes of the those games, they let them get away, and suddenly what was a cinch open bid now is a little bit up for grabs. Let's look at Rolling Hills Prep and Harvey Catani. We had a little rain in Southern California, so now that the sun is back out, flowers in bloom, that would be for lawn flowers. And then, of course, now that the sun's come back out, they're working on their tan, and that's for JT Tan, and he's got a big game tonight. And then Benny and his Jets, well, that's the freshman we've talked about, Randy, Benny Dealer, he's going to be a good one.
I love how you put that together. That's very nice. Thank you, Paul. A fine defensive play by this Rolling Hills Prep team, and they've been in control here in the first quarter of the Nike Extravaganza. Flowers out on top has been an emerging player for them. And this is Keeler, the freshman. Rebound, Breedenbach, and quite a collision underneath.
Wow. And that was a no call. And that was some heavy contact. We hope both players are just fine, and it looks like they are.
Yeah, Troy Murphy went down hard.
Wow. You can hear that all the way up here where we're sitting. And we're not courtside.
Well, we're up in the nosebleed section. It gives us a nice view. It's just great to be here. It's a fun extravaganza. It's 24th year. So many great teams over the years. Certainly Mater Dei has been a pinnacle, playing in their own extravaganza, winning year after year. But it is fun to be here and see future stars play today. Harrison Hornery to Askew. His three ball is short. And Flowers doing a nice job at the defensive end, rebounding for the smaller Husky team.
Exactly right. Good call, Randy. Monarchs are taller at almost every position, yet they have had no second chance opportunities because of the fundamental box outs by Rolling Hills Prep. They are so well coached. If you were going to teach someone how to play on the defensive end, if you watch any of Harvey Catani's teams over the years, you could use that as textbook.
Harvey's in a great mood today. Why? Fairfax won in the city section battle with Westchester, winning on the road 50-48. And there's another long one that's in there for Benny Keeler. We all know that Harvey Catani coached at Fairfax for 35 years and accumulated 773 wins there for the Lions, 4 city titles and 2 state crowns. So yeah, he should be in a good mood. Great win for his Lions, his former club. As Ryan got hit on the arm. Evans is good on the line.
That's a tough call for Rolling Hills Prep because JT Tan was out there on a much smaller man. I'm not sure how he ended up out in the corner, but he got Evans on the wrist, and they call it the 3-shot opportunity for Ryan Evans, but that's foul number 2, Randy, on JT Tan. He needs to be out there.
Yeah, OR said, yeah, you got him on the arm. One of our officials, Ryan Evans. The high game this year against Whitney Young when he poured in 22. He also shot down his former team, Santa Margarita. He's a transfer from that program. Got one more coming. And this is a rarity with him missing shots like that as Davidson checks back in for Breedenbach.
Will got off to a really slow start, and he wasn't where he normally is on the court, and he took 2 deep threes, one from each side, and Will's much better in the post where he can use his fundamentally sound footwork. He's good with finishing at either hand, but not from 22 feet.
It's been a sluggish start this quarter for Mater Dei. They've been outplayed by a Rolling Hills Prep team that's come in here and they want to knock off the mighty Monarchs. The press forces a turnover back to Mater Dei.
Yeah, that was too bad for Vaughn Flowers. They had broken the midcourt line with a nice pass up the sideline, and I'm not sure exactly why Flowers felt he had to deliver the ball down the sideline. And with plenty of open court, if Mater Dei's going to press you like that, if you break the midcourt line, they have to make them pay. You got to go to the basket strong.
Askew bumped his feet. Was trying to get through on the baseline. Fouls on 5, and that's Benny Keeler. That's his first.
Yeah, I think that's the 4th team foul already against Rolling Hills Prep. So maybe if Mater Dei can't score from the field, they can score from the line.
That's off of Hornery, pressured by Kuhn, and out of bounds to the Huskies.
Coach McKnight going to go to his bench again. He has to be disgusted at the start for his young team. They just are playing with no energy whatsoever.
Cremonesi has come in. Logan Cremonesi is a capable scorer off of McKnight's bench.
And he'll bring energy. He's a strong rebounder, good defender, and he'll play hard.
Keeler with a nice look to Tan. And a couple couple opportunities in there, couldn't finish. Askew the other way. Ryan Evans. 3 for Evans and the Monarchs, and the bench improves.
Really well done by Askew. He could have forced that baseline drive up, but instead, with that good vision, he saw Evans wide open with his feet set, and he's going to make more of those than he's going to miss.
Murphy. Just an easy one on the baseline, but Dan able to clean it up, but he had his pocket picked. And Flowers with the theft. And the jam. Tremendous play by Von Flowers.
Speaking of thievery, right back at you.
Flowers in full bloom. Final 5 seconds for Askew for 3. Devin Askew, he's a big shot maker. Oh, both teams started to score at the tail end of that opening quarter. Final few seconds was very entertaining with Evans drilling it from deep. And how about the Flowers steal and jam? It's the Huskies by 3. Who got off to a slow start, and Evans started to knock down some shots. And on to within 3 of Rolling Hills Prep. And that young man, 24, Von Flowers, is their best defensive player. But all in that first quarter, he did it at both ends of the court.
Yeah, very confident first quarter for Flowers, and for Rolling Hills Prep, they have to feel pretty good about those first 8 minutes. If Askew doesn't make that long 3 at the end of the quarter, I mean, they get out of the first quarter with a 6-point lead against the Monarchs on their home floor.
And again, it's the Huskies who have controlled the tempo in this game. Keeler, the freshman, impressive player, taking the baseline, and a tough finish, and a soft bounce.
A lightning quick first step. He blew past his defender.
Askew, a nice kick out. And you see the result, that beautiful passing. And Davidson seeking an uncontested jump shot.
He has played with much more confidence the last 3 or 4 games. A lot of the Monarchs have not played particularly well since the Bosco game, but one of those is not Nick Davidson. He's been better and better every night, and that can only bode well for the Monarchs as they continue their pursuit of an open division bid.
Yeah, Nick Davidson, just a puppy, 6'8", 200-pound sophomore, and he's going to have a brilliant career here at Mater Dei. Flowers, that's a nice move, a step through, but there's the rejection. Nice effort defensively by Cremonesi.
Shot clock violation against Rolling Hills, but what a hesitation dribble by Flowers. I'll tell you, he froze his defender.
With a block by Cremonesi, sensation.
Saved the day for Mater Dei.
Friedbach has returned.
Let's see if they get him closer to the basket in this set.
Davidson at the high post. Cremonesi. Again, Rolling Hills boxing the bigger Mater Dei team off the glass as Krutop's shot failed. That bench of Mater Dei is agonizing.
That look says it all. That's Jason Quinn, longtime Mater Dei assistant, and just a look of exasperation at the Monarchs' offensive efforts here in this first 10 minutes.
Keeler's been as impressive as anyone. Number 5 tonight. He's been standing.
He doesn't look like a freshman to me.
Got the quickness factor on Friedbach, who's got the length. That's good pressure defense as they put 2 on Keeler. Clock down to 13 seconds. We're going to have a timeout on the floor taken by Harvey Kitani. He didn't have the floor balance he wanted there.
Exactly right. That's a good call, Randy. They were way off kilter for the first time tonight in their half-court sets. They've been pretty impressive, but pretty impressive.
Zion's coming though. That's impressive.
Exactly right. Tomorrow, get up and watch ACC basketball on KDOC TV, and then come on down here to the Nike extravaganza for the afternoon and evening sessions. We'll open up at 9 in the morning with number 2 Duke against Georgia Tech. I think, Randy, 8 teams from the ACC get in, and Georgia Tech right now is in the 8th spot. Then the 11 o'clock game, you got Clemson against North Carolina State. North Carolina's in the 7th spot. So that both these teams got to keep winning, although Georgia Tech has an arduous task to win at Cameron.
How many dunks do you think for Zion Williamson tomorrow? 2, 3, maybe a 360 reverse or some crazy thing?
Special player, generational kind of player. Obviously, the head and shoulders is going to be the #1 pick in the NBA draft next year. Built like a tight end and yet has the elevation of a David Thompson.
David Thompson, great North Carolina State star. Back it up. 5 on the shot clock. They're going to have to put one up here. Boom. It's a long 5 seconds. Got away with one there. That was should have been a violation. It's picked up by Mater Dei.
Especially after a timeout, Harvey Katani can't be pleased with that offensive set. It didn't look like they had much of a play going at all, and a lot of dribbling by Kuhn, which is rare for him.
Askew backing away from the basket. Good defense from Gieler. And have a foul. We'll stay at that end. It's just tough for Mater Dei to get any rhythm offensively.
I just don't see a ton of passing. This has been a dribble fest by the Monarchs here in the first 11 minutes. Normally they're much crisper, moving the ball from side to side. Someone cutting to the basket. You know, just fundamental basketball. And it's been a lot of one-on-one stuff.
Greenbach. Down low, Davidson. Nice shot with the left hand. He is impressive. And again, he's just a 10th grader.
Playing with so much more confidence in the beginning of the season when his minutes were limited. But I'll tell you, he's got great footwork, and obviously, as you saw there, he can finish with either hand.
Gieler from way downtown. It's on the floor, picked up by 10, and the Huskies have another opportunity.
That's why Gieler doesn't look like a freshman to me. He had an opportunity at a clean 15-footer after the offensive rebound. But he realized that's not how Rolling Hills Prep plays. And so he pulled it out. They'll run their offense, run some clock. That is presence beyond being a freshman.
And a 7 on the shot clock. Kuhn to Flowers with 4 on that shot clock. Off balance try. Mater Dei's defense stymies the Huskies.
I think Rolling Hills Prep's got to get into their offensive flow just a little bit quicker. They're waiting until there's only a few on the shot clock.
Well, there's the passing that Mater Dei's been looking for. A beautiful pocket pass to Hornery. And for the first time of the night, Mater Dei has the lead.
Dana Altman, Oregon coach, in attendance, checking out some future Oregon Ducks.
Well, this could be a duck down the road. Flowers, but a great block there. Mater Dei forging ahead 18-17. Nick Davidson, an impressive sophomore inside player, has 7 for the Monarchs, 7 for the freshman Benny Gieler of Rolling Hills.
Well, it took the Monarchs 12 minutes to take their first lead of the night. And a very slow start for the Mater Dei offense that generally plays a lot faster pace. And I'd have to say, round 1 goes to Harvey Katani as he's gotten the Monarchs to play at Rolling Hills pace instead of the other way around.
This is a Monarch team that's 22-3. These Huskies that you're looking at, not bad though, 17-5. They're ranked number 2 currently in the Southern Section Division 3 AA poll. Harvey Katani's looking for his 3rd straight CIF title. That's hard to do in different divisions.
Well, every time moving up a division, there's some contenders in that 3AA. You got San Gabriel Academy, who's really good. Bahabra out of Orange County, who's only lost to Orange Lutheran and Jay Sarah. That's playing up.
Santa Clarita Christian is very good. 19-17 for the Monarchs. See how the Huskies react to falling behind for the first time. The defense of Mater Dei has really picked up in this second quarter. Askew going all the way, a blow by it too for Devin Askew. And a quick timeout taken by Harvey Katani as Mater Dei is rolling against Rolling Hills.
Yes, they are. The backcourt pressure that was put on by Jason Quinn has totally changed the game. It's made Rolling Hills play a little bit less confident.
We've had some great players over the years of the Nike extravaganza. Of course, this is the 24th edition.
And the list goes on and on and on.
Yeah.
You could run about 25 guys there. And
here's a steal. Askew with a beautiful move to the basket and two more for Devin Askew. Boy, he's suddenly up to 10 points, and Mater Dei has surged to a 23-17 advantage.
Rolling Hills Prep's got to figure out a way to attack this 2-1-2 zone pressure.
Flowers found the baseline available.
You know, if you can get it into the attacking zone against that type of defense, if you go quickly to the basket, there's a lot of space out there, and Flowers took advantage of that.
He'll stay with the Monarchs. And they played very tight defense in the second quarter, and now their offense, led by Askew, picking up the tempo. And the tempo a little bit faster. And here's Askew for three. Murphy rebounds, and let's see what Rolling Hills can do offensively.
Well,
3 minutes left.
Sorry, Rainbow. The first times lately that Mater Dei didn't make a basket, that makes it tough to set up that pressure defense in the backcourt. Off the miss, it's impossible. Let's see if Mater Dei runs and jumps at the dribbler in order to speed up the Huskies.
And of course, the Huskies want to stay within contact. They want to play at this tempo. They want to dictate a slower pace. Down to 5 on the shot clock again. Keeler has to go to work. Good rebound by Askew.
Good team defense by the Monarchs again, forcing a really tough shot late in the clock.
That's wonderful passing, and Greenbot scores inside.
Boy, Dick Davidson continues to impress. You wouldn't have minded if he caught the ball and made some kind of a move to the basket, but instead seeing the game ahead of everyone else, the touch pass to Greenbach for a much easier shot. Davidson continuing to impress.
The ball movement here by Rolling Hills on this possession. They're taking that puck down so far, Paul. They're forcing shots at the end of the shot clock.
Mater Dei ramps it up with about 6-7 seconds left, and they end up taking a tough one. I think they need to get started maybe 3-4 seconds earlier.
Keeler misses. Breitenbach rebounds. Hard to miss him with those spectacles on. Breitenbach with a nice pass to the trailer Askew. Contact but no foul, and an easy one. The slam dunk for Breitenbach, and Askew created.
That he did. Outstanding change of pace dribble. And Breitenbach has gotten much more involved in the game now that they've gotten him close to the basket. I couldn't understand early on where he was launching threes from the deep corner. He's much better in the paint.
Suddenly, it's an 8-point cushion for Mater Dei. Finally, a perimeter shot falls for Rolling Hills, and it's Flowers who dropped it in.
I'm very impressed with Vaughn Flowers. He's really good. I mean, his control on both ends very obvious.
Good with the miss of a Breitenbach shot. Final minute of play. Rolling Hills trying to edge closer. Tan's hook fails, but he got it back. And the big fellow pours inside and draws the foul.
Nicely done after the second chance opportunity. I thought the first go around with the about a 10-foot hook, a little forced and inaccurate as well. But they got it back to him, and that time he said, "Look, I'm big and I'm strong and I'm going to the basket."
JT Tan, a junior, averaging 14 points and 12.5 rebounds again. You're looking at a walking double-double.
He's got soft hands, which you like to see in your big guys. He's gotten a lot stronger since I first saw him, and he's a good rebounder, and he's developed a little bit of a mid-range jumper. He can hit that 15-footer if he gets his feet set.
Well, they're edging a little bit closer, trying to come back. 1 of 2 for JT Tan.
Well, I think if it doesn't get out of hand these last 30 seconds, Rolling Hills Prep's got to be ecstatic about the pace of the game, and the separation between them and the Monarchs is pretty good at this point.
Askew, corner of the key, and his jumper just fell off the iron, but that's a nice follow. Beautiful job inside by Logan Cremonesi.
Logan working so hard. They don't run any plays for him. He's got to get his shots by just effort, and that was a terrific job on the offensive glass.
Askew nearly pilfered it away. Comes to Tan, 2 seconds. So Flowers from nearly half court banks it in. Oh, the shot of the first half here at the Nike Extravaganza. Rolling Hills Prep controlled tempo. A late surge in the second quarter as Mater Dei with the lead, and these are our highlights. And I think we're going to see number 24 a lot in the highlight back.
Deservingly so. He had a magnificent first half. When the Rolling Hills Prep suddenly couldn't score the ball, it was Flowers that got him off the schneid, so to speak, with a good outside game and a couple of drives to the hoop.
Ask you, how about that look to Breedenbach?
When Mater Dei began to share the basketball, and here's the half-ending buzzer beater from midcourt by Flowers, but when Mater Dei began to share the ball, which is the way Coach McKnight teaches it, the offense got much better.
Yeah, some schedule to look at. We want to see what Mater Dei has been up against in that treacherous Trinity League, and you see that they were knocked off by St. John Bosco. Then the surprise against a very good Scorpion team. Jaime Jaquez of Camarillo gets you 30 a night.
Oh, no question about it. But Mater Dei was up 18 in the second half, and it just sort of frittered away. And it was like at some point you expected Mater Dei was going to find themselves, but they never did. And hats off to the Scorpions with a nice come from behind victory. But tomorrow night, Mater Dei's got a tough one. They've got Johnny Juzang and Mason Hooks and the really good Harvard-Westlake team. Mater Dei needs to win their last 3 games, this one tonight in Harvard-Westlake and Orange Lutheran, finally in the Trinity League final, in order to clinch that open division bid in my estimation.
I think Mater Dei might have a tough game tonight. They're in a battle here at halftime. You can see what Rolling Hills has been able to accomplish, losing to El Camino Real in the LA City section, a very good team in the West Valley. You can see mostly W's on the screen.
Oh man, I'll say, and some of them really dramatic scores. Not sure who some of these teams they're playing, but the schedule got tougher. Nice win over Los Alamitos. Anytime you can beat a team out of the Sunset League, that's a quality win. And then, of course, the league championship, the Coastal League, will come down to that one on January 31st against Vistamar. Vistamar, the Vikings have only lost 1 time in league.
Yeah, giving up by 3, 29-26. And our halftime stats are brought to you by our friends at Carl's Jr. And you can see what a performance from Von Flowers. He had 5 of 7 in the first half, including that one from half court.
Yeah, they got their offense from maybe not the usual suspects. Benny Keeler got off to a fast start. He had 9 points early, and then Von Flowers took over in the second quarter when things bogged down a little bit because of a defensive change from the Monarchs. But on the Mater Dei side, after a really slow start when it looked like they were 5 guys that just met on the beach, they got to their balanced scoring, which is the key to this year's young Mater Dei team. You can see it there. Askew with his 7 points also had 5 assists. Ryan Evans hit a couple of threes for his 7 points. You got Breedenbach with 4, Davidson with 6. That's the way Mater Dei is going to play. They'd like to have 5 guys in double figures every night if possible.
How surprising was it? Rolling Hills out-rebound much taller Mater Dei team, 14-11.
No doubt about that. That's what kept Mater Dei bigger lead. They didn't get any second chance opportunities in that first half, and that's a credit to the Huskies and their energy.
Well, the underdog Huskies wanting to pull off an upset. Harvey Kitani going up against his longtime friend, Gary McKnight, here at Mater Dei. 29-26. The second half is next on our Pacific Surfliner Game of the Week on KDOC TV. The Pacific Surfliner CIF Game of the Week on KDOC TV is brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. And by Carl's Jr., featuring the new Beyond Famous Straw with a charbroiled 100% plant-based Beyond Patty, only at Carl's Jr. Well, there's Devin Askew, the outstanding player. Had some pretty passes in that opening half. Askew is a very talented player. He also had 10 points. He can do it all. He's going to be a highly recruited player. Likes Oregon. That's one of the schools he's looking at. He's an underclassman, so he's yet to acknowledge where he's going to end up when he plays Division I basketball. Monarchs with it as we begin this third quarter. And a turnover early, and that's what Rolling Hills has been able to do, force some turnovers and rebounding very well.
Almost as if Askew predetermined what he was going to do there, because once he drove down the baseline, I actually think he could have finished with a reverse layup. Instead, he made the bounce pass into traffic, and here's a chance for Rolling Hills Prep to tie with a 3.
They hang close. Catani's team will milk the clock and isolate this young man, Vaughn Flowers. And he goes to work. What a good look at the fall away. Crew cop all the way. No basket. Foul before the shot. It was Keeler that got him.
Shot of an earlier three-ball attempt by Ryan Evans that went askew.
Inside, Breedenbach walked. No basket. So still opportunities there for Mater Dei, and they unable to score. You see the extra step by the big fellow.
Yeah, the third quarter starting much like the first quarter did for Mater Dei, when they just look a little bit out of sync.
And this tempo could do that to you. Coon slipped. Yeah, he's tied up. Well, that's unfortunate when your legs go out like that. Might have been a dead spot there, or maybe some perspiration, and Coon went flying down to the ground in a hurry.
Kind of a helpless feeling there. You don't want to burn a timeout just to keep possession. And so Coon just fought for the jump ball, and the held ball keeps it on that side of the floor.
Keeler, that impressive freshman, out on top. He handles the ball very well.
He should be able to take Breedenbach off the bounce here. Let's see if he does.
This is a challenge for the bigger man guarding him. Breedenbach did a nice job. Keeler missed it. Evans into the front court. The crew cop. Evans surveying. Got a ball movement by the Monarchs. But a takeaway again by Tan. That's a nice job playing the passing lane by JT Tan.
Yeah, he's a pretty quick feet that time, jumping into the passing lane on what looked like a productive Mater Dei possession. And then followed by, I believe they got Davidson.
Yep.
If they do, that's just his second. I thought it was his third, but only a second foul, so he can stay in.
I think Davidson's been solid. He's playing hard. He has picked up his second foul. Still 29-26. Only 2 minutes into this third quarter, both teams have been silent. And that's okay with Rolling Hills. They want to keep it close and control tempo. Put the pressure on the favorite Mater Dei team at the end of the game.
No doubt. Might be time to get number 14 in black, trying to get Chris Coon a shot. He hasn't shot the ball in a long time.
Tan in the paint. Hits. Well, he showed some skill there.
Wow, wonderful little pump fake, and then went with the baby hook from at least 12 feet. Nothing but net for JT Tan, and the Huskies are within one.
And the three-year starter, Keeler, can't believe he was detected for the foul. He thought he had a clean steal.
Oh, I think most of the crowd here at the fabulous Morello Athletic Center is in agreement with Harvey Catani. That looked like Dasky just lost the ball on his own.
A 1-point lead for the Monarchs. And they turn it over. Had trouble inbounding it. Davidson threw it out of bounds.
Threw it right to Gary McKnight. And as much as that, you might think that's a percentage play, Gary's a pass-first coach.
We'd like to pass on that play. It's what we'd like to pass on. He's got his hand on top of his head in disbelief over that out-of-bounds play. Here's a chance for Rolling Hills to reclaim the lead, and Flowers going to work and scores on the baseline. Vaughn Flowers, he has 14.
Oh, the young ones, impressive display for Rolling Hills Prep today.
Askew was blocked, but Breedenbach cleans up.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and Will found himself in just the right place that time to get the loose ball and jams it in.
That's an offensive foul. Murphy running over Evans. Evans did a nice job there planting himself and taking that charge.
Mater Dei's always been really good at that over the years. They did a terrific job of sacrificing their body for the good of getting the foul, and Evans did a nice job there because it certainly looked like Murphy was on his way to the basket for an easy one.
Well, Professor, is this what you thought, this kind of game, this tense struggle, or did you think Mater Dei would blow out here?
I thought Mater Dei, Rolling Hills Prep so well coached. I figured Mater Dei, maybe double figures kind of victory, but they are struggling against this outstanding team defense of Rolling Hills Prep. And Mater Dei looks like they're not quite sure how to attack it.
Got it into Davidson, but there was 3 surrounding him. Couldn't finish at the rim. Another opportunity for Rolling Hills Prep to get the lead.
Mater Dei has 2 points in the 3rd quarter.
Flowers, who hit that miraculous shot at the end of the half from midcourt. That 3 really ignited this team going into the locker room. That was a momentum swinger for Rolling Hills Prep, but again, Flowers driving to the basket, and when we come back, he's going to the free throw line with a chance to get the Huskies the lead. Vaughn Flowers has been a story tonight, so has Askew for Mater Dei with that beautiful dish to Breedenbach. Rolling Hills controlling tempo, playing good defense, and other than a Mater Dei spurt in the 2nd quarter, they've controlled the game.
Yeah, they certainly have. And this is the pace and the score and exactly what Harvey Katani would draw up if he wanted to stay with the taller, deeper Mater Dei team. But Mater Dei on offense looks as if they have no purpose. There doesn't seem to be any sort of rhythm to the offense whatsoever. The only basket they got was on a tip that ended up in Breedenbach's hands for an easy dunk. Let's see if they do something a little more effective after the timeout.
Flowers. There's another one, and we are even.
And he's going to have
concern on that Mater Dei bench. He certainly does have them. He has 15 of them. That's pretty good. His career high is 23 against Centennial. There's a chance to break that. Considering the tempo of the game, for him to have those kind of numbers, that's really an outstanding effort. 31 is our draw. It's Mater Dei deep into the shot clock. And Askew will fire from the free throw line. And 1 for Devin Askew. And we told you, he makes big shots.
There was better movement by Mater Dei off the basketball that time, but it wasn't coming to any kind of fruition. So late in the shot clock, Askew says, all right, I tried my best to get you all involved. I'm just going to take it to the free throw line and get myself an and 1 opportunity.
Devin Askew, another player strong with the ball. Averages 14 points and 6 assists per outing. And completes the 3-point play. And it's the Monarchs by 3. 13 for Askew, right at his average.
The backcourt pressure helped Mater Dei get not only stops, but into an offensive rhythm in the first half, and they went back to it here after the made free throw.
Flowers trapped on the baseline. To Geeler. And Flowers with the drive. And the bucket. Oh, he's good. Vaughn Flowers.
He is really good. He's better than I was told he is.
Who told you?
Oh, all the people that watch basketball every night of the week, where I only get to maybe 4 games a week.
They were wrong. He is an outstanding player. He shaves that lead of Mater Dei to 1. Chance for Rolling Hills to get the lead back. Chris Kuhn will say, let's reset the offense.
Such a savvy player. He could have forced it against Hornery, but he realized that he lost his advantage and pulls it out, and they'll live again in this possession.
Shot clock goes inside of 10 for Geeler. And he had it tapped away. It'll stay with the Huskies. That's shot clock. They reset it to 5 on the shot clock. 10. Another post move, and he got the foul call, and he's going to the free throw line. Instead of the hook, he went to the jump shot.
And Davidson with a bailout foul there. I mean, I'm going to make JT make that before I challenge that shot. And that was the degree of difficulty was pretty high there.
Yeah, it really was. about that. You know, to try to make a shot like that. Tan gets the friendly roll on the charity shot. And another one coming. Got a number of 20-point games this year. Again, he averages 14 points and 12.5 rebounds a game. And the second one curls in. And Rolling Hills Prep, with just above 2 minutes to play in the third quarter, leads Mater Dei. Askew in the paint, so smooth. Devin Askew having a strong game for Mater Dei.
Just taking over this third quarter for a rather stagnant Mater Dei offense.
Murphy didn't take the three-ball shot. Keeler will. Way down. It came out. Murphy ties up Davidson. Troy Murphy picks up the foul.
The official tried to let them untangle themselves, but when they spun around the third time, you realize he has to call something.
For Murphy, that's his second foul, so he's in no danger. The high school level, 5 eliminate you. Devin Askew has been precious to the Mater Dei attack in the third quarter.
Prukop back in to try to give Mater Dei a little offensive spark, but I'd try to get number 12 a shot here. I don't think Ryan Evans had a shot in a while.
I think you got to go to this guy, number 5.
Not a bad choice.
He's turning it on right now, isn't he?
He's very strong upper body, so when he posts the same size or smaller player, he's going to have the advantage. And he really has taken over the last 3 or 4 minutes for a Mater Dei team that still only has 7 points in the quarter.
Askew with 15. The leading scorer of the game is Flowers with 17. Fresh shot clock, but Askew's going to work. And it's tipped in. Greenbach with the left hand guiding it back in. That was pretty.
Wow, that was a very difficult putback.
Some good looks. That one just didn't fall for Brendan Green, who's checked in. Another turnover.
Tan with another heady play.
Coon goes all the way. Counted. And he's going to the free throw line with a chance to tie the game. The southpaw, Chris Coon, the senior, with a fine finish.
Might be time for Coon to take over. He had only 2 shots in the first half, but he's not going to force it. At that time, he had his defender on his hip, went up there strong with the offhand, gets an and one opportunity. And we got 1 minute to go in the third quarter, and Rolling Hills Prep is very much hanging around, much to the dismay of the Mater Dei Brain Trust.
3-point play opportunity, trying to tie it, and Coon has 7 points, and we're even at 38. Minute to play in the third. What can Rolling Hills do to try to slow down Devin Askew? That's really their story, because point guard's done a nice job here scoring the ball. Lobbing inside and an easy one and a finish for Davidson.
Nice steal by Davidson, but excellent recognition by Askew to get the ball just at the right moment. You can either be too early or too late with that, and Askew was right on time.
That's a little bit behind Green, and Prukop steals it. And Askew will find the open man. Nice shot by Ryan Evans. Green battling for it. Gets it to his teammate Coon, who's double teamed and in trouble. Finds the bailout in Sam Palin. Flowers got to the iron, but just didn't put it in. Final 8 seconds here in the third, and Askew scores. Another one from half court. No, not this time for Flowers.
Flowers might have got away with a backcourt foul, but nonetheless, Rolling Hills still hanging around after 3.
Flowers, another fabulous finish, but it was the Devin Askew story and show in the third quarter. Mater Dei locker room, some great players. There's the Mater Dei locker room. Great history, great players, and their uniforms in there, haven't they?
Oh my gosh, Stanley Johnson and Miles Simon and Taylor King, and the list goes on and on. facilities here are absolutely outstanding for all sports. Great water sports, terrific baseball diamond, but this facility, the Morello Athletic Center, is as fine a high school facility as I maybe have ever been in, and goodness knows I get to enough high school games to compare, but this is a gem.
Yeah, it reminds me of Loyola Marymount's gymnasium, of course that's a D1 school. It's just a beautiful facility, as you discussed. Askew, speaking of beautiful, has turned it on and is dominating this basketball game. He has 20 points on the night.
And on a night when not a lot of contributions from the others, they need all those 20 points. He is not taking an excessive number of shots, but wow, he has single-handedly got Mater Dei their biggest lead of the night.
In the comfort zone here, up by 7, and Rolling Hills is going to have to find some offense. Gila has to flag it down. Whistle, stoppage in play. Great hustle there by Prukop trying to get the theft.
Not 100% sure why they stopped play.
Neither am I.
We're going to attend to a wet spot on the floor, but it says Rolling Hills Prep had the basketball. Harvey says, I didn't like that. We're going to take time out.
Yeah, that was a little odd, so they come to the sideline. Again, Rolling Hills Prep looking for some offense. Of course, we have more great basketball for you on KDOC TV. The ACC, great teams. Duke #2 in the country in the morning game. A little later in the morning, 21st ranked North Carolina State has a date with the Clemson Tigers.
Georgia Tech trying to build on the momentum of their big 63-61 win over Notre Dame in their last effort. And of course, Duke is Duke. And even though they're waiting for Trey Jones, the point guard, to come back, it don't seem like they miss him a whole lot behind the exceptional play of Zion Williamson and R.J. Barrett. Duke seems to be just fine heading into the second half of the ACC schedule. And then Clemson, with Marquise Reed being their leading scorer, they're going to take on NC State in much need of a victory. They're just 1-4 in league play. NC State bounced back with a win over Notre Dame after a surprising loss to Wake Forest. That was Wake's only win of the ACC season thus far.
That's the ball right here on KDOC. Some good action. We've had good action here earlier tonight. Oak Hill Academy outscored Santa Margarita. And here in the nightcap, Mater Dei, quite a battle. This has been a hotly contested game. Huskies. And that one deflected away to belong to the Huskies, although Ryan Evans is pleading his case. He thought he had a steal and a deflection.
Be careful, Ryan. You got a chance to get the possession, only 3 on the shot clock, and the last thing you're going to do is get a technical for arguing.
How often have we seen the shot clock down inside of 5? 3, as Paul alluded to. Gila's got to turn and shoot, and he does. He gets fouled. Or did he? No, it's a shot clock violation. He didn't get him out before he got hit on the arm.
Just one pump fake too many for Benny that time, but that was a woeful possession for Rolling Hills coming out of a timeout.
Yeah, Harvey Kitani up with arms locked together. Disappointed with that possession. And this guy has done it all. Devin Askew, #5. Look inside Davidson. That's good defense from Kuhn, the help D. And Chris goes all the way. Puts it in, but it's not going to count. Offensive foul on Chris Kuhn.
Well, that is a tough one. I'd have to see that one again, and we will. Thanks very much, Truck. I'm not 100% sure that Mr. Greenbach was set that time, but it goes against Rolling Hills Prep, so instead of an and-one situation to cut that lead, it turns out to be a Mater Dei possession. That's a tough break for the Huskies.
That one stings, especially the way Rolling Hills is going offensively. It's difficult for them to score. Mater Dei has turned up the defense late in this game. They have Askew on offense. Davidson at the free throw line goes to the basket and scores. Nick Davidson.
With the offhand against, that shot was challenged by Tan, and nice job by the sophomore to finish.
He has 11 on the night. And the pressure pays a dividend. Ryan Evans with the theft. Good distribution of the basketball. Mater Dei didn't get the payoff, but Prukop got it back, the reverse layup, and he's got the 2 anyway. And Mater Dei starting to take over here in the fourth quarter.
Huskies are picking up their dribble in the worst possible places. They got to keep that bounce alive, and that'll give them a chance like that.
Well, they have Vaughn Flowers, who's been their offensive leader. He has 19, but he's had little help tonight. And ask you the other way. Quick shot there and a rebound for Kuhn. The Huskies can put back-to-back goals together. Mueller trying to make a miraculous twisting layup. Murphy right there, puts it up and missed an easy shot. Out of bounds to Mater Dei.
Oh, heartbreaking. Missed opportunity for Rolling Hills Prep. Nice pass inside to a wide open Murphy, who I think took too long to get rid of the ball. He allowed the defense to get to him and made it a much tougher shot.
5:11 to play in the game. Mater Dei looking for its 23rd win of the year. The Monarchs have only dropped 3 games, 2 of late, so they're in an ornery mood.
And a tough remaining schedule, and still very much alive for an open division berth. But things have gotten a little cloudy, a little murky in the open division watch list in the last week or so.
Evans missed the 3. Kuhn controlling the glass. Inside of 5 minutes to play. Again, Rolling Hills Prep needs some offense. Where will it come from? Tan in the paint, got it, and he's going to the free throw line. And that was much needed. And a huge basket for JT Tan and Rolling Hills.
He had been going to the right hand almost exclusively tonight. This time came back the other way and got just enough separation to get that little mid-range jumper off, and then the contact. Oh, but this free throw doesn't have to cause.
He's got that big body, but he has a nice soft touch. JT Tan. Tan trying to get a steal against Breedenbach and called for the foul.
Just the 6th team, or no, that's the bonus. Sorry, that's the bonus for Mater Dei for the rest of the game. And so now let's see if the Monarchs, who have at times shot free throws very well as a team, but missed quite a few in that stunning loss to Camarillo where they blew an 18-point lead. They just couldn't make the bonus free throws down the stretch.
You like the goggles look at Breedenbach?
Oh yeah, I like this young man a lot. I think he has a huge upside. He seems to have a real high basketball IQ.
Yeah, but the goggles make him look cool.
True enough.
He's got double figures with 10. Krukop's got a steal and a basket. And Mater Dei is suddenly up 11 and looking good. Flowers with a good pass. Tan's rejected. Foul called on the floor. Rolling Hills Prep has fallen behind. Devin Askew has been precious tonight for Mater Dei, and Flowers hasn't been shabby either for Rolling Hills. Mater Dei was quite a battle here tonight, but in the second half they got great offense from Devin Askew. He's distributed the ball as well. Rolling Hills Prep struggling, other than number 24, to get anyone else involved.
I think the key to the game in both halves was when the Mater Dei coaching staff decided to put on that full court pressure. Surprisingly to me, Rolling Hills Prep has had a lot of difficulty breaking that press, and it's resulted in a lot of easy opportunities for Mater Dei at the other end. And then Rolling Hills Prep just got sort of out of their offensive rhythm for the most part here in the second half. They have scored just 16 points in a quarter and a half.
Lead is 10. 4:15 to play. So Mater Dei in great shape. Not in here completely, but in very good shape. Especially with this kind of tempo in the game. And we have Askew. Got to feel very comfortable with the lead. Ryan Evans on the wing. Krukop with a good look.
That was a nice offensive set, and they got one of their better shooters a clean look from the top of the circle, but the rim wouldn't have it.
Again, Rolling Hills down by 10. They have to work a little bit quicker.
Yeah, they're not the type of team. Some teams 10 points down is a matter of just a handful of possessions. But for Rolling Hills Prep, they almost have to have a successful trip every time down now as we approach 3.5 left.
Number 5 on the shot clock as Keeler fires for 3. Green with a nice rebound to the line. Flowers is open. They get it back. Vaughn goes all the way. Then puts it in and draws the foul. And he had some hang time.
He has been remarkable. I thought the 3-ball was going in. He had a great angle on it, and it was dead straight. Just came off the front of the rim, but he didn't quit on the play. The shooter knows more than faster than anybody else where that missed shot's going to go. And Flowers was quickest to the carom and gets himself a 3-point opportunity.
9 last year as a sophomore, came in averaging 10 a night. As we started play this evening, he's got 21 on the game.
And it's all come within the flow of the offense. Sometimes guys are volume shooters, you know, and if you go, 8 for 25, you get your 20 points, but that doesn't help your team much.
If you're James Harden, you're shooting 45 a night.
That is a whole other animal, Mr. Rosenbluth.
They fire very well, did.
Yeah.
There's Askew with a blow-by and a left-hand layup misses. Out of bounds, Mater Dei. She's going to be the other end. A late foul against Rolling Hills.
I think they're going to get
it's on
Breedenbach. Yeah. Here's a chance for Rolling Hills to get back into this without making baskets. They will be in the bonus now for the last 2:55. So if they can just make these, Mater Dei blew an 18-point lead in the second half against Camarillo. And that's got to be in the back of their minds. Once that sort of thing happens, you start to maybe doubt yourself when you've got a double-digit lead and another team making a run at you. So a made free throw here, and it's down to a 2-possession game all of a sudden.
Green, noted for defense, stops in 2 pressure foul shots. Good job from Brendan Green, 6'1" senior wing. And suddenly, Rolling Hills Prep down by just 6. Going over and back.
Trying to take the ball out of Askew's hands by running and jumping a second defender.
Bad idea the way he's playing
they
today.
accomplished their goal.
Askew working against the freshman Benny Keeler. The step back 3. Heartbreakers went in and out, 10 rebounds and another whistle.
More free throws coming. I think they're going to get Nick Davidson for shoving Brendan Green. And there you see the takedown, and Green will go back to the line where he just made a couple. And Randy, a couple of made free throws here. Heck, we got some drama in the last 2:28.
It's starting to get dicey for the Monarchs. Green. He's hit 3 in a row with the pressure cooker.
Good looking rotation on that foul shot.
Got some good outings, 11 against Los Alabinos, 14 against Hart, so he can score, but again, the coach says he's a great defensive player. Rattled in and out. Harvey Catani's teams within 5, they need defensive stops, but they're going to spring the upset. Askew has that ability to get to the basket, but the block by Tan. Flowers is fouled.
And a really good call by Todd Turch, and he got down there where he was in position to see if that was a charge or a block. That's excellent officiating, and that was a critical call there. A charge against Rolling Hills Prep would sort of slow down the momentum. Here's a chance now to make this a 1-possession game with just 2:10 left.
They'll make those freebies.
Watch now as Evans tries to set himself, but he's got 1 foot up in the air, so there's no way that's a charge, and a good call by our officiating crew.
1-2 for Vaughn Flowers. Lead trimmed to 4. Pressure. Comes to Portery. And he'll back it up. And it's Mater Dei that'll utilize the shot clock.
Don't settle here, Mater Dei. Take it to the basket. You're in the bonus.
Askew will be the trigger man. They're looking inside of Breitenbach, who goes to Hornery, who's fouled. It's a nice job of distributing the ball.
Good spacing, excellent sharing of the basketball, perfect execution. They went inside out to the slashing Hornery. We haven't heard much from Harry in this one. 6'9" sophomore, capable of big nights, but I don't know if he's on the scoreboard tonight.
Harrison Hornery's foul shot rattles through. He has 4 to be exact, so he has gotten in the book earlier.
Must have been sleeping.
Oh, it is late night.
For somebody like me.
55-49, the professor. Paul Westfall, great analytical work tonight in that doubleheader. Will kill over Santa Margarita, and here Mater Dei clinging to a 6-point lead. It's late in the game. Flowers looking to go to work. Long Flowers against the double team. And with a look inside, and Kuhn with a great cut and basket. Chris Kuhn.
Nice job by Kuhn. Don't stand there and watch the play. Cut right down the lane with a perfectly timed delivery from Tan.
Marks nearly turned it over. There's a block inside, and here come the Huskies. Kuhn to the basket. And it's a blocking foul. He's going to the free throw line. And Rolling Hills has life.
That draws the ire of Gary McKnight. He wants to know, my guy was standing there waiting. Let's take another look. That's borderline, but that time the call goes Rolling Hills prep way, much to the disgust of the Hall of Fame coach Gary McKnight.
I was thinking, I'm in my building, I'm supposed to get those calls. But Chris Kuhn here, picking it up late in the contest. Kuhn trying to be that complimentary scorer besides Flowers tonight for Rolling Hills prep. And missed 3 or 4 down the stretch.
And that has, that just it can oftentimes be the difference between victory and defeat. That's why they call them free throws.
Kuhn missed them both. But Flowers tapped it into the corner and saves it. Flowers has done it all tonight. Vaughn on the baseline. Kuhn out of the corner. Oh, that one stings.
Oh, tough luck, and they had the foul. Game clock down to 30. Oh, that would have put some drama into the last few seconds if that 3 from the corner would have rolled in instead of out.
Fouls the first against Vaughn Flowers. Does send Askew to the line. And Askew has been the star player this evening for Mater Dei.
It's a 2-possession game no matter what happens here at the line. So if Rolling Hills prep is down by 6, then you've got to launch the 3-ball.
We saw it against St. John Bosco. Devin went to the line and calmly knocked down foul shots. Even though his team lost, he was great putting them in at the end of the game. This still a 5-point game. Flowers and company have to hurry to the final half minute. Vaughn Flowers. Tip by Tando, good rebound Davidson. And Evans knows the clock is their friend.
Got a foul. Got a foul.
It's a good job by Ryan Evans. Not taking it to the basket, knowing that they're playing against the clock at this stage, not the opponent, Rolling Hills.
The clock is your friend. And Evans with a chance to ice this one here.
Got 2 great games for you next week. Etiwanda and Chino Hills, Sierra Canyon, Rancho Christian, the top 2 teams in the state. The professor loves those matches.
Oh my gosh, Etiwanda and Chino Hills. That baseline league is really tough from top to bottom. Chino Hills with a big win tonight at Damien to throw themselves right into the mix for the baseline league title. And Etiwanda's at top at 6-0 undefeated. That should be a barn burner. And then you got the number 1 and the number 2 teams in the state doing battle right before the playoffs. That's entertaining stuff.
Evans with 1 more. Well, they can't make it a 3-possession game now, so by missing that first one, a little bit of life for Rolling Hills, but it's going to be difficult. They need 6 points in 12 seconds.
Need a quick 3 and then defensive pressure. It will take a miracle.
First three from Flowers is no good. Breedbach rebounds, and this game concludes. Not easy, but Mater Dei has won it to go to 23-3, 57-51. Rolling Hills Prep, a Division III AA team, acquitted themselves terrifically tonight. They fall to 17-6. Good battle and a great performance by Flowers, who had 22 for Rolling Hills, 21 for Devin Askew.
A gallant effort from Harvey Catani's Rolling Hills Prep Huskies. They gave Mater Dei a lot more than they thought they were going to get in this one. So they got to come away from this feeling pretty good about their chances in the 3AA playoffs, which are coming up right around the corner. And if you're Mater Dei, even though you won the game, I'm not sure you're real happy, because they just struggled offensively as the two Hall of Fame coaches shake hands near the free throw line. But Mater Dei had all kinds of trouble getting any kind of offensive rhythm, and much to the consternation of that man, Gary McKnight, they're going to have to play a whole lot better tomorrow night against a really athletic Harvard-Westlake team.
Some highlights to show you. Once again, Flowers really did a nice job. There's a goal by Breedbach. There's that.